Hello. Welcome to the Skeins of Dreams knitting podcast. I'm Megha. I'm also known as Skeins of Dreams on Instagram and on Ravelry. And I come here usually to share all about my knitting and making journey with all of you. Thank you so much for checking out my video if you're a new and if you're a returning viewer. Thank you so much for being here. So happy New Year, everyone. We are now in 2023, and it is time to recap all my garment makes of 2022. I decided last year, I think I saw a few recap videos, and I did a video last year as well. I got very good feedback on that video. Everyone really liked the format of the video, and they liked seeing sort of a recap, and I felt like it helped me as well to kind of look at everything I made in the year and then kind of make a plan for the next year, what was missing from my wardrobe or what colors I did too much of. I think my last recap video had 3 ranunculi sweaters and everything was colored mustard and pink and brown and different shades of these 3 colors. So this year I think one of my goals was to not limit myself so much in the color category, and I wanted to make some very statement pieces. I don't think I managed to do so many statement pieces. There are still quite wearable sweaters that I made, but I think a lot of the statement pieces that I started, I haven't finished. So while I was trying to figure out all my finished garments of 2022, I also realized how many unfinished objects I have. Too many. I think I got a new journal for 2023, and I wrote down all the sweaters I could remember that were unfinished in my closet, and I could easily remember about 20 large projects. So this includes about 16 sweaters that are unfinished and 4 shawls, massive shawls that are unfinished, which I started. No, I didn't start all of them in 2022, but I started at least 14 sweaters in 2022, which I have not finished. Yes, you heard that right, 14 sweaters. So that kind of was like sort of overwhelming the moment I counted all of those sweaters that I have not finished, and also counting the sweaters that I have finished. So this stack behind me is all my finished garments. So all of these I finished in 2022. I think out of these only 2 were actually started in December of 2021, but I'm still going to count them as finished makes of 2022, so I'm going to talk about those. So all in all, to recap, I have 16 finished garments, and I have 14 garments that I started last year and I have not finished. So that is a lot of knitting. And also I think I need to calm down right now and actually get some stuff done. I don't want to have so many unfinished projects. They're just occupying space, and a few of them are gifts, so I need to finish those. And oh, by the way, these are only the adult garments. I have 2 child-sized garments, which I'm not going to talk about, and then 1 top that I made for my best friend, and I already gave it to her, so I don't have that. The 2 child sweaters, I spoke about them in my last video, so if you'd like to take a look at that, you can check out my previous video. It also talks about my trip to India in November and December of 2022, and a lot of you have already watched that video and wrote such beautiful comments in that video. Thank you so much. I've read all the comments. I've not responded to all of them, but thank you so much for all your lovely messages. I really appreciated them. So those are the stack of sweaters. It includes 2 sweaters that I made for Baljeet, and the rest of them are mine, of course. And I'm wearing one of them. So this includes all my makes, including summer and winter. I'm not very good at keeping things away for seasons. Like, I don't put away my summer sweaters because I end up wearing them either indoors or I layer them, so I end up using all sweaters all year round. Like, maybe not, no, I don't wear my winter sweaters in July, but they kind of stay out. I'm not very good at putting them away. So I'm gonna do like I'm gonna try them on so you can see how they fit me. I'm gonna try and put all the information about finished garment size on the screen here. And I'm most of the sweaters I remember the yarn I used. I may not remember the colorway names, so I will try and put them on the screen here. But in case you missed something or would like to know more, I will put all the links to my Ravelry page. I keep a very well, like I record everything on Ravelry pretty well. And if you can't access Ravelry, you can always reach out to me on skeensofdreamsknits@gmail.com, and you can ask me any question about any sweater that you'd like to know. I guess that was a lot of information, but all I want to say is all the information is either in this video, in the links below, or you can contact me. Okay. So I'm gonna try all of them on. I'm gonna try and make sure that I edit it tightly so that you don't have to see me changing my clothes and things like that. But I will wear all the sweaters and I'll kind of twirl in them so you can see how they fit me. I think I've put on some weight since the beginning of the year, so maybe some sweaters, the way they fit me in the beginning of the year, they don't fit me the same way, but that's okay. But yeah, I think I've said everything that I wanted to say, and we should get started. So of course I'm wearing the Alanis top, so I'm gonna start with this one, and then I'm gonna keep this top on while I talk about the two sweaters for Baljeet because I can try them on, and then I'll start the whole wardrobe change thingy. So this is the Alanis top. I'm sorry for all the wrinkles because I kind of put it in my laundry. I have to wash this. I wore this a lot over the summer. I must say this is one of my okay, I did this last year as well, but I called every single sweater my favorite sweater and someone called me out on it. But they're all favorites. They're all favorites for different reasons, and this was also one of my favorite sweaters from this year. I got a lot of wear out of it. It was very easy to throw on. This I made this sweater or top in a summer fiber, but actually it's meant to be made with a worsted or Aran weight wool yarn. It's kind of a vest, you can call it, but I used it as a top. It's a drop shoulder construction. The design is by Elizabeth Smith, and I really love Elizabeth Smith's aesthetic, and I really want to make a lot of her garments, but I've only managed to make this one so far, and I really enjoyed making it. It has this detail of this garter ridges going up the top, but the rest of it is stockinette. It's a bottom-up sweater. I made this in Pearl Soho Lantern, which is a cotton linen blend yarn, and I love it. Like, I love the yarn, I love the drape, I love the sweater, like I love the top. I wore it a lot over the summer. It's a very cool, it feels very cool on your skin. I usually wear it like next to skin, just over my bra, but right now because I'm gonna try on all these sweaters, I have like a spaghetti camisole under it, and that's why it feels a little, like it feels closer to me than it usually is when I wear it without a camisole. Things I would change. I wouldn't change anything about this. I really enjoyed knitting it, and I actually want to make this pattern again in a wool, like a 100% wool or some sort of a winter yarn, so I can wear it over shirts or something as a vest. I always do this. The designers give you suggested ease. So for example, like my bust, and this is for all future references of all the other garments that I'm going to show you, my sweater bust is 47 inches. I call it sweater bust because I'm considering that as my bust measurement after I already have a layer. So if I'm wearing a sweater, it's usually on top of a shirt or a camisole or something, so I measure myself on top of it, versus when I sew, I don't, usually the garments are next to skin over a bra, so that bust size is 45. So usually I like to make sweaters which are 47 inches and above, depending on how much ease I want. So usually designers will suggest bust plus positive ease, whatever they like. The drop shoulder constructions usually have like 5 to 6 inches of ease, but I never make my sweaters with 5 to 6 inches of ease. I always make them closer to 47 or 49 inches. If I want a loose, very comfortable sweater, it's usually the maximum of 50 inches bust size. So over a shirt, it gives me 3-inch positive ease. But of course, if you consider my actual bust measurement, which is 45, then it's like 5 inches of ease already. But I don't know, in my head, the sweater bust makes more sense to me, because I like to stay above 47, because I don't like garments fitting too close to me. I like to wear something under them, and so that's what I do. So what I'm saying is my actual bust measurement is 45. With a shirt on, it's 47, and so I make sweaters up to 50 inch, from 47 to 50 inch. That's what I do. I hope I didn't confuse all of you with that. But this one being a top is, I went down compared to the suggested ease by the designer, because I like my drop shoulder constructions fitting a little closely. But the one modification that I have to make is make sure my sleeve depth is enough for me, because if I make a smaller size, usually the armhole is smaller than I would require, so I have to make changes to the pattern according to that. So I have to increase the armhole depth to accommodate the fact that I'm making a smaller size. So I guess that was the major modification I did. The yarn is very, very beautiful and is held up very well. I don't think there is any difference. This did shrink a little, so, and the yarn label actually talks about the shrinkage, so I had to account for that when I was making the size. So I accounted for some shrinkage as well, and it did shrink when I first washed it. You can wash it in the washer, so that was good. I washed it in the washer, but I didn't use a dryer. I just hung it out, or like laid it flat to dry. Yep, that is the Alanis top, and I think next we can talk about 2 sweaters I made for Baljeet. So at the beginning of 2022, I made this sweater for Baljeet. This is a kind of a self-drafted yoke sweater, and I used the Strangebrew pattern by Tin Can Knits. Strangebrew is like a recipe. You can knit sweaters for a child to an adult. It has a very wide size range, and they give you basically the recipe, how many stitches to cast on based on your gauge, and then how to increase for a yoke. And they also talk about how to add color work motifs. It's a huge booklet which actually gives you some examples of color work motifs, or you can draft them on your own. But basically it'll tell you can do like a 6-stitch repeat for 10 rows, or a 4-stitch repeat for X number of rows. So it gives you things like that, information like that, and it helps you draft your own color work patterns. You can always use it to make a plain sweater as well, but they advertise it for mostly color work sweaters. So I made this one last year for Baljeet, and it turned out real nice. I really love the trees and the wintry feel that this sweater has. This yarn is Brooklyn Tweed Shelter, and I don't remember the colorways, so I'm gonna put them on the screen here. This one definitely is like a natural, obviously, and this is a chartreusey green, yellowish green. It fits him really well. He likes closed necks. He doesn't like the shirt collar or t-shirt collar to be shown on his sweater. So one of the things that happened was, because the neck is tight and this yarn is kind of it breaks easy, like it can come apart easily. After he wore it a couple of times, it already frayed the collar, so I had to fix that, and I fixed it already. And I believe the same thing is happening on the sleeve. Like the sleeve is now frayed. You can see the yarn breaks easy. And I have a Brooklyn tweed shelter sweater. Nothing has happened to my sweater, but this happened already twice on Baljeet's sweater. So I don't know if it's the yarn or if he's hard on his sweaters, but I think the takeaway for me from this experience is I'm not gonna use Brooklyn tweed shelter for any of Baljeet's sweater in the future. That's the main takeaway. I love the yarn. It's rustic and yet next to skin and everything, because he doesn't like scratchy sweaters, so he doesn't like wearing those. So this is rustic and 100% wool, so very warm, so he likes the feel of it, but it's too flimsy of a yarn for the way he wears his sweater. Anyway, I think that's my takeaway from it. But I really love the design and I'm super proud of it. I did add short rows on the yoke or on the back here, and I did a couple of short row sets over here and a couple under the yoke, and I think fit wise I got it perfect. I don't remember if I wrote down proper notes for it, because it would have been nice for me to do that and then just use this as a recipe for other sweaters for him, but that's okay. This is obviously Baljeet's Kerr Sweater. Everybody has seen the sweater, and this is one of my most liked pictures from Instagram last year. This is obviously designed by Rebecca Clo, who is the Crea Bea on YouTube and Instagram and everywhere. Beautiful design. Rebecca just started designing in 2022 and she has already come out with such amazing designs. I have another sweater by her which you all know, the Cargill, which I'll talk about shortly. But this one is the Kerr Sweater. She didn't specifically design it for men, but I made it for Baljeet. When I tested the sweater, so I reached out to her and I asked her if I could test it, but that I wanted to make it for Baljeet, so I will be making some modifications if required on the design. And the major modification was just the depth of the armhole. So men have broader shoulders than women for the same bust size or chest size, so I had to increase the depth of this. That's pretty much the only modification I had to make. It's a beautiful sweater. I actually finished it and it was like 4 inches, like it was 2 inches shorter than it is right now. He wore it like a couple of days and he said that he would prefer if the sweater was a little longer, so I ended up adding length to it, and I already did that. I actually finished it on the 30th of December because I really wanted this to be done. It has beautiful details, like I really love this folded collar and of course the color work, and it was a very sectional sweater, like you do this part first and then you have interesting color work and then stocking it again, and the same for the sleeves. So I feel like it just got done so quickly. I really enjoyed knitting on this, and this yarn is Blackberry Ridge Woolen Mill sport weight yarn. I really loved working with this yarn. I have more of this. They are kind of a small mill in Wisconsin and they have a lot of dead stock, so they're trying to just get rid of all their stock. So I placed a few orders from them last year. This is their bronze colorway. I love the color and it looks really nice in person as well. Right now I don't know if it's coming on screen properly, but I'm in love with this make. This was one of the best things I made last year. I definitely feel that. But yeah, so that was sweater number 2 for Baljeet, and with that we are done with men's sweaters and the top I'm wearing, and now I get to do wardrobe changes. Alright, let's start with a stunning sweater. This is my Foxberry sweater. This was a design by Sari Nodlin. This is a design by Sari Nodlin. I tested it early last year for her. I just love this sweater so much. It was such a fun make. It was a little difficult to make because of the lace on a dark yarn, but beautiful sweater, and it has wonderful sleeve details as well. Like the same lace is repeated on the sleeve, and I love the twisted rib. So it was supposed to have like a folded twisted rib collar, but I kind of left it as is because I felt like it looked nice on me. But I think I've changed my mind and I would like to fold the collar, mostly because this is one strand of fingering held with a strand of mohair. I used Knitting for Olive merino, that is the fingering, and Knitting for Olive silk mohair in the color Bordeaux. And while I'm okay with mohair everywhere on my body, I don't like it on my neck here. It bothers me, it feels itchy, so I feel like if I fold the collar and it's not riding up on my neck, I'll be a little more comfortable. So this is definitely the only change I would make to this sweater. It fits me really well, very cozy. I wore it a couple of times already this winter, and I don't think I have anything else against it. Like the Knitting for Olive mohair is the only mohair I've knit with, and it does spill a little, like you get like small like strands or balls of mohair that come off the sweater. Doesn't bother me much. I clean it up whenever I find it, and other than that, I mean, it's fine. There's nothing. I love the design, I love the fit, I love the yarn mostly. So it's a good sweater all in all. Okay, so last year I tried to make a lot of summer garments because I wanted to up my summer wardrobe, hand knitted summer wardrobe, and I made this top. This is the Zeva top. It's a design by Laura Ayler, and it has a beautiful lace detail on one side. It kind of extends down the front a little. I made this top in Lana Grossa Pura Linea Solo. It's a long name. 100% linen, not 100% linen. I think it has some sort of viscose content. It makes the yarn kind of heavy and drapey. And when I made it, I really liked the top, but if you see it now, I've not worn it as much. I think I wore it around the house a little. Like it has beautiful details and everything. It's a simple raglan and then this part, but I don't like this anymore. It looks kind of, my mother would call it like it looks like an old rag basically. I don't know if it's the color, if it's the fit, if it's the yarn, or a combination of all of it. It doesn't feel very smart, and it doesn't make me feel like it's flattering on me. Also, one of the mistakes I ended up doing was the gauge. I knitted on a larger gauge, and I think this yarn would do better if I knit it at a tighter gauge. Because what's happened is, because it's you can see under the sweater. I can't wear it in the summer just on my bra. I feel very uncomfortable. It feels like it's showing everything underneath. So if it's a tighter gauge, I think I don't need to layer it. But it doesn't make sense for me to have a summer top which needs to be layered. And right now I'm wearing it over a camisole, but I don't know, it just doesn't feel very good to me. So I think I'm gonna frog this. Like, this is definitely getting ripped out. I don't know, I have more of this yarn in a different color. I'm not sure if it's the yarn or if it's my pattern. I just don't feel good in this sweater. It doesn't fit me. I mean, I don't know, it's kind of flimsy, is not a flattering shape. I don't like it. So that is one of the makes from last year, which is definitely getting ripped out. And I'll see what I want to do with this yarn again. I don't have anything against the yarn. The yarn is beautiful. I want to knit with it again, but I think it needs to be knit at a tighter gauge for it to look a little more flattering. Yep. Oh, and I think I knit this at 20 stitch gauge. So I definitely would like to size down the needles and make it much tighter. So that's the Zeva top. Nothing against the pattern, it's beautiful. I think this pattern I might make with like superwash yarn, wool superwash, like wool and nylon, like a sock yarn or something. I might like how it fits then, but I don't like it in this linen viscose yarn at all. So this is my Felix top. I made a spring fall kind of a Felix last year. The yarn I used for this is a wool cotton blend, and I'm completely blanking on the name of the yarn. So I'm going to put it on the screen here. It's 50 wool, 50 cotton, I think. I'm not sure that I like this top either. I had used this yarn to make a ranunculus. I held this yarn double, and I have a ranunculus in the same yarn held double, and it is a beautiful garment. I really like it. I think the issue I have with this is this feels a little too warm around my neck for a summer top. You know what I mean? Because it has some wool content and I made the neck high. In the summer I actually feel too hot in it, and in the winter the short sleeves don't help. So it's kind of a neither here nor there. And the other thing to consider is that now I live in Pittsburgh. I used to live in Buffalo where it was much colder, but in Pittsburgh I think the weather is never spring-like enough. Like it's either too hot or too cold, and when it's in between I don't want to wear like anything wool. I don't know, it just doesn't go with my current situation. So I'm thinking if I can rip this back and somehow create a dip in the neck. Otherwise, I don't know, I might just pull it back. The ranunculus works really well because it has a wide neck, and I'm starting to realize how sensitive I am to wool, like around here, unless it's a winter garment that is very cold outside and I have a nice high neck and I enjoy that because it's cold outside. But anytime it's a shoulder season or in the summer, I don't like a high neck. I'm very, very sensitive to that. So yeah, I mean, I might still keep it, I might not rip it out. I just have to figure out how to wear it. I think it may need to be worn in the winter with like a cardigan on top or something like that, with a jacket on top. It doesn't serve well as a summer garment for sure. It's too warm. But I like the pattern. It's a simple enough pattern. It's the Felix by Amy Christophers. Savory Knitting, I think she's called. The one thing I must say is this one is not very size inclusive, which is so weird to me because this is a very popular sweater and it's an easy, like a raglan. Like I don't understand why it would not be size inclusive, and I didn't know this when I bought it. I guess when I bought the pattern was way back when I was not looking at size inclusivity, and then when I actually knit it and was more aware of size inclusivity, I looked at it and I was shocked that my size was like almost the last size or the one before that, and that's not at all size inclusive. So yeah, that's my Felix. And that's how I feel about it. The yarn, I love the yarn. I have a ranunculus in it. It has held up really well. It does tend to felt under your arms, especially if you sweat, because my ranunculus did. So this one I actually made my armhole kind of deeper. Like my armhole is here and this division is here, so that it doesn't get kind of felted in this area, which actually worked. Though it might look a little like drop shoulder or batwing construction, I don't mind it, and it keeps the fabric from getting felted under my arms. So yep, that's my Felix top. Alright, so we're back to winter knits now. So this is the Nele sweater. It's a design by Gregoria Fibers. I knit this last year in collaboration with Hobby Yarns. They sent me some yarn to try and to review. So I knit this last year about in March. By the time I finished, it was summer, so I couldn't wear it because this is a very, very wintry garment. I held 2 strands of Hobby Diablo, which is a mohair nylon blend, I think, and 1 strand of Hobby Evergreen, which is 100% wool. So this is almost a chunky sweater. The modification I made was I made the sleeves straight sleeves, almost look like bell sleeves on me. But I don't think that's what the pattern has them kind of cinched in over here, but I liked the straight sleeve look on this. It has a nice detail on the raglan. I really like that. I forget what stitch this is. I think this is a twisted rib. So all my knits are twisted and it is a high neck. Now this is a very wintry garment. I actually like how it fits, but honestly I haven't worn it at all. Because we moved to Pittsburgh, it's not as cold here, and we were in India for a while during the winter. This week actually it became warm. You can see the snow has melted and it's all bright and kind of cloudy, but like all green outside. So I'm still waiting for a cold enough day to wear this, or I have to wear it as an outdoor sweater, so I have to wear it when I'm gonna be outside, which doesn't happen as much because I work in a closed office. It's too warm to wear inside. I can already feel the mohair kind of itchy on my neck here, which usually happens, but this is because it's a chunky sweater, has to be like an outdoor sweater, but I haven't had a chance to actually wear it much. Yeah, I'm not sure what else to say about it. It's a cute sweater, but the other thing is I'm realizing while as I make more garments, I don't like light colors on me. I think I prefer jewel tones and I prefer brighter colors. I think they look better on me. So that's another thing. I know I tried to go very like silvery neutral with this sweater, but I don't end up wearing those as much, especially winter garments. I don't know, in the bleak weather, I prefer wearing very bright colors. I know it's opposite to what people do. They wear very muted colors in winter, but I never understand that. I'm like, it's bleak outside, I better look like a glow stick. So, hello Cargill. So this is my Cargill sweater designed by Rebecca Clow, and I tested this for her. This is Rebecca's first design. Beautiful sweater. I love the sleeves. They are my favorite part about this sweater. Of course, this is the dip stitch. A lot of people are making it now, so you've seen this a lot on Instagram if you've been following the hashtag and everything. I knit this in Camijo Yarns. Camilla, who is the dyer behind Camijo Yarns and Camijo Knit Designs and everything, who's also a friend of mine. She has this beautiful colorway called Petals. It's like a lavender purpley yarn with speckles of mustard. I absolutely fell in love with this colorway when I first saw it, so I bought a sweater's quantity. I didn't have anything in mind, but then this I decided to use it for the Cargill sweater. It gave me very good stitch definition, and I have held this with Knitting for Olive mohair, I think in the powder color. I love this sweater. It's a very, very well-fitting, very comfortable, and I didn't do the folded collar. I kept the neck wider, and I think that works for me. Even if it's a winter sweater, I would rather have, when I'm outdoors, I like to wear like a scarf to cover my neck, but when I'm indoors, I don't like having things too close to my neck. So this works really well. It's a little shorter than I would prefer. I mean, it looks fine, but I think it would pair better with a dress or over a dress or with a skirt. But over jeans I feel like it's a little tight, shorter than I'd like. I do have enough to extend the ribbing if I want to, but you know how that goes. You think about it but you never end up doing it, and I love wearing the sweater, so I'm actually very comfortable in it now. I don't want to take it off. But yeah, you've seen this, and it's one of my, again, favorite makes, also because the whole it's a sweater by a friend. I tested her first design. It's yarn by a friend, so it was like just a beautiful sweater to make, and like just the memory and the feeling around it was amazing. So yeah, this is my Cargill sweater. Okay, I know you're all tired of the sweater, but here it is again. This was the first sweater I actually finished last year. This is my Blizzard sweater. It's a design by Jessica McDonald, and I knit this in Holst Super Soft Held Double. The charcoal is Oxford, colorway Oxford, and the pink is Sweet Pea. It fits me really well. I like this sweater a lot. I wear it as my home sweater. It's very cozy. I love the fabric. I want more of this Holst Held Double. It makes a very, very nice fabric, and I can definitely say that in the beginning it feels scratchier than it does after you wear it a lot. I haven't washed it more than once. I only blocked it, and that's the last time I washed it. So I kind of want to wash it again with maybe some conditioner so it becomes even softer. But I have no issues wearing this at home, and I honestly wear this at home all the time. And if you look at the fabric, there is not a single, maybe just a single. That's not a pill, that's actually my hair. Oh my god, that's disgusting. But there is no pilling, maybe just a little bit of fuzziness to it. This yarn holds up really well. Like, I want more sweaters in it. I've spoken about this what do you call it, kind of bubbling thing, puckering that happens with some of the yoke sweaters. Now, nothing against Jessica's designs. She knits amazing sweaters and they look perfect on her, but I just think either my color work gauge was off, though I checked my gauge and it doesn't seem to be off. This happens to yoke sweaters because my bust is much bigger than my shoulders. Like, my bust is 47 but my shoulders are only 42 and a half. So when you do a lot of increases, there's not enough shoulders here to fill in all this puckering. So sometimes I like to do combination yokes, which is like do the yoke and then do raglan to do the last few increases. But you can't do that when you have color work going up until sleeve separation. So this is a thing a lot of podcasters are talking about. My friend Casey from Young Folk Knits talked about this, and I think everyone's doing this thing of casting on a smaller size on top and then increasing when you reach the bust or the sleeve separation. But other than that, I love the sweater. It's definitely a favorite make. The yarn is very crisp, very beautiful, and I want more of Holst Held Double. Holst Held Double was actually hard on my hands a little bit because it has a lot of spinning oil on it. But I think with the right needles and not knitting it too fast, if I go slow about it, I think I should be fine. I have enough cones to make a lot of sweaters with Holst super soft, so I think I'm gonna do that at some point. Alright, so in case you didn't realize, I was doing all my pullovers first so that I can then show the cardigans because I'll have to do other wardrobe changes. But this is the last of my pullover slash tops. This is the plant, I call it the plant lady tee, but it's really not. It's just a t-shirt I kind of drafted myself. I have striped fingering weight yarn with mohair for this. It's a superwash yarn, and the colorway of the pink actually is Plant Lady. I don't know if you can see, but probably not, but in the skin you can tell that the pink has some green speckles on it, so I paired it with this beautiful green. I will have to write the colorway of the green. I think it's called something to do with buggy. I think buggy is the colorway. It's a spun right round mohair. I'll have to put it on the screen, but it's a simple top I made for myself for the spring slash summer. I really like this top, and I kind of want to make this so that's how the neck is. I kind of want to make this striping, fingering with mohair kind of stuff, more of them, because they're so lightweight and I really like how it looks. Yep, this is the one t-shirt. I have nothing to say more about this. I kind of made my own yoked thing. It does have some puckering, but it's fine. When I pick up my arm, it doesn't raise the sweater, so that in a way, the puckering helps with that, because if it was very tight on the top, if I raise my arms, the sweater might go up, but it doesn't ride up or anything. It has some puckering when I put my arms down, but yeah, I guess that's kind of something with yoke sweaters, right? I don't have a well-fitting yoke sweater until now, like a perfect fit, like a raglan fit. But yeah, super happy with this one as well. I like it. Okay, let's talk about cardigans and start with the Gaja cardigan. This is a design by Amanita Knits on Instagram. I test knit this, I think, in August sometime. I used Camellia Fiber Company, sorry, I got the name wrong. Sport weight yarn. This is the most beautiful sleeve I've ever knit. If you remember about this cardigan, the issue I was having was it was not staying on my shoulders. So I have kind of added tack, like, you know, these are I don't know, what do you call them? They're just snap buttons. So I've added these snap buttons, and I kind of wear this closed always. I don't wear it as an open cardigan. And it is a short cardigan, so I kind of wear it on dresses. And so it looks, I don't know how it looks on my trousers right now, but this is not how I style it. I usually wear it on dresses, but right now I'll have to go and wear a dress and everything, so I'm not doing that. It's a drop shoulder construction, very beautiful cardigan. But yeah, it has a pullover and a cardigan version, and I think I should have knit the pullover. The pullover would have been really nice, because that would just, you know, I wouldn't have to do this, and it would just, because the cardigan version, I had the issue that it doesn't stay up on my shoulders. I've talked a lot about how my shoulders slope a lot, so I always have a hard time finding a cardigan that stays up. But I found a fix for this. It works fine. But yeah, I mean, nothing more to say. It's a nice garment. I like it. Looks better on a dress, so I'm gonna put a picture of me wearing it with a dress. But I just wanted to show it to you. The yarn is beautiful. I forget the colorway name, but I had to alternate skeins and everything. It's the 100% merino sport weight yarn. There is some difference in the colors between, like, for the sleeves and for the body, but it doesn't bother me. I like it. Again, this is the Gaja cardigan, and if I were to make it again, I would make it a pullover. Okay, let's talk about my forest finds. This cardigan I made in September of 2022. It's a very, very beautiful cardigan. It's actually kind of getting very bright outside, so I feel like my location maybe needs a change. Hopefully you can see the details of the cardigan. It's a very pretty cardigan. It's a design by Jennifer Parosini. It's kind of knit in pieces, so it's almost like a sewing construction. So you knit the whole cardigan in flat panels, like this portion is a panel, this front thing is a panel, and the sleeves are separate panels, the back has 3 panels. So it was a very intense knit, but I enjoyed making it. And then you have to put them all together with 3 needle bind offs and everything. So overall this sweater was a lot of fun to make. It was a lot of work, I won't lie, but I enjoyed it extremely. Now she does make you put a zipper on it, but I tried to do this thing where I sewed a ribbon down and then put these snap buttons. But honestly, I think when I sewed the ribbon, I kind of stretched the ribbing while sewing the ribbon, so it kind of doesn't lay flat. So this is one thing I want to redo. I want to take the buttons off, remove the ribbon, and actually sew it down properly again without stretching the ribbing, because it makes it stand weird. And if it doesn't work, then I think I will have to add a zip. So this cardigan definitely needs some fixing, and I hope to do that this year so I can wear it. It's a very comfortable cardigan. This is Primrose Yarn Company Zodiac. Oh, Zodiac is the colorway. Rowan DK is the base, and Zodiac is the colorway. It's a DK weight yarn, 22 stitch gauge. It has inline pockets. It's a beautiful design. Jen does amazing work. She's a master at making garments that are fun to make, and they fit really well. There's a bust shaping option in this. I didn't have to do it because she makes you measure yourself and figure out if you need bust shaping, but I didn't have to do that, but it has that option. So yep, that is my Forest Finds cardigan. Okay, let's talk about one of the first vests I made for myself. This is the Reflections vest. It's a design by Heidi Kirrmaier. I knit this in Fiber Company Acadia yarn. This is a silk, wool, silk, and something else blend. I love this yarn. It's a very, very pretty color, pretty yarn. It's a beautiful, like, it has wonderful stitch definition. These cables in the front are super simple to do. They look like they are difficult, but they're absolutely not. I haven't worn this sweater much because I'm still figuring out how I want to style it. I guess it looks okay with this shirt, but I don't know. I still have to figure out a nice way to wear this. Also, I mean, winter started and then we went to India, so I haven't had a chance to actually wear this a lot. And I didn't wear it in the fall season as well, so I have to figure out how I want to wear it. I took a picture of it for the finished object with a nice white shirt which has short sleeves, but I kind of want a full sleeves white shirt, and I think I have them. I just have to style it and wear it. I mean, what else to say? The design is very beautiful. The vest, I mean, I'm very happy with the make. I just haven't worn it enough. I am already knitting with this yarn again. The yarn is beautiful. I would highly recommend it. It's very soft to touch, and yeah, all in all a good experience, except I am yet to wear it as much as I like the garment. Okay, there is hair everywhere, by the way, so yeah, that's what I'm picking at. But other than that, yep, this is the Reflections vest. I think this was supposed to be made, or like the recommended yarn is Sonder DK, and I really like this green color that they have in that yarn, but I couldn't, but I think I looked at, oh, this is, I think, Jack Apple or something like that. It's like a green apple or some colorway, but I kind of found this in Acadia, this color. It was similar to the Sonder color, but not exactly, but this is definitely cheaper than buying the Sonder yarn. So I ended up with this. I love the green. I just haven't had a chance to wear it. That's why my one thing. I should wear it. I'm starting work on Wednesday, like after the vacation, or the holiday season, so maybe I should I should wear it one day to work. But yeah, this is not the best shirt under it. This shirt is very billowy. There's a lot of fabric, so it kind of looks like that, but I need to find something that is a cleaner fit under this particular vest. All right, the vest number 2. So this is the Burgos Vest. This is a design by Rosa Pumar. I made this in woolly knit British wool hanks in the color Lupin, and this was a gift, or like it was a yarn that I got in my yarn swap with Rebecca last year. I really wanted this vest. Like, I saw this vest when it released and I really wanted it, and I just couldn't envision it in a different color. So even though I have a lot of this yarn, I ended up using some of it for the vest. It fits really well. I made a miscalculation in my gauge, so it's actually like I can button it, but it's a tad bit tighter than I'd like my vests or my garments to be. So I prefer it like just like this, in kind of left open. I plan to wear it with dresses, and that's why it's kind of short. I mean, this top, it was just, I could reach for it easily and I didn't have to iron anything. That's basically why I'm wearing it on this top, and it kind of is long enough to give you an idea of what it would look like on a dress, but it's actually a top and it's pretty billowy. But if the dress is kind of like closer fit, I think I took a picture of this vest with a green dress that I sewed for myself, and I really like that combination. Like, I just put like plastic buttons on it, but I really like the bright buttons. Yeah, the Burgos Vest, and I'm pretty pleased with it. It has very good details. Like, there is a shaping at the back which looks really nice, and I do want to make more of this vest, and maybe a little bigger, so that it can be like an oversized vest over some of my shirts and things like that. So would definitely like to make this one again. Okay, time for the Isa cardigan. This is a design by Wear and Rose. Alex, who's the designer behind the account, she has very, very beautiful designs and is coming out with so many pretty looking things. I test knit this for her last year. I made this in Knitting for Olive heavy merino, I think in the plum rose color. I really like this cardigan. It actually, like, I like to wear it buttoned up. It actually looks pretty decent buttoned up. I also put like plastic buttons on this. I might not be wearing the best shirt underneath it right now, but I often wear it like this. I don't care if it doesn't look the way it's supposed to or whatever. It's kind of nice and warm. It is a drop shouldered construction. I don't have a lot to say. The yarn is pilling a little bit. It looks a little like, it looks a little rough around the edges is what I want to say. I did wear it quite a bit. I haven't cleaned it. Maybe I should clean it, and then it might not pill again. The yarn was fine to knit with. Like, it's not my most favorite yarn, but I don't hate it. Like, I'm neutral about the yarn. There is nothing super spectacular about it, but there's nothing wrong with it as well. So I don't know what to say. Like, some yarns you really get, you love the feel of them when you're knitting with them or things like that, and when you're wearing them. This is a perfectly nice yarn. Nothing wrong with it, but I don't know if it's not my favorite. It's not spectacular enough for me to want more of it. But yeah, there is you can see some pilling, but otherwise I love the lace. I love the shaping of the neck. It's a beautiful garment for sure, and very happy with this make, and I wore it quite a bit. Like, it's an easy cardigan to throw on when I was working from home. Like, I'd be wearing whatever and then just throw this cardigan on and I'm good to go. Yep, this is the Isa cardigan. Alright, finally, my Mega Diamonds cardigan. This is a beautiful design by Camilla, who is the dyer and designer behind Camijo Yarn and Camijo Knit Designs. I test knit this for her in her Mega Mohair base, and I think the color is Sugar Pine. She dyed it for me specifically because I requested it. Beautiful lace cardigan. I think you saw Selma of Little Big Knits. Selma made a pink version of this. I love that pink so much. I kind of want one for myself. I kind of modified it slightly. This Mega Mohair is kind of like almost equivalent of 4 strands of mohair held together, but it's way cheaper than buying 4 strands or 4 sweater quantities or whatever of mohair and stranding them together. It's cheaper to buy this Mega Mohair base. It has some nylon, merino and mohair content. Very beautiful yarn. I love the all over lace cardigan. I kind of left it open because I didn't want to be too warm. I do tend to run warm, and hence I left the sleeves to be 3/4 sleeves and also left it as an open cardigan. I did do a garter button band, and there is a garter, button band and then a garter collar on it. It's an all over lace, very simple, very addictive, wonderful make. I thoroughly enjoy wearing this, and this was also like a easy to throw on kind of a cardigan that I was able to wear during the fall season over here when I was working from home. And what else to say? I think to make one, and if you can buy the Mega Mohair and you want to make it in a yarn that is less expensive, I think drops alpaca held double, because the alpaca is like a DK weight, and if you hold it double you might get like a 16, I think it's a, I forget, I think it's an 11 stitch gauge in 4 inches. Drops held double might give you, drops alpaca held double might give you the gauge that you need to make this cardigan, and it's an inexpensive yarn and has beautiful colors, so that's an option to do. But yeah, really pleased with this one, and I think it's a very smart make. I really enjoy wearing this. And that sort of wraps up my 2022 garment makes. So I hope you enjoyed watching me try out, kind of do a fashion show for you for all my garment makes. Like I said, that was a total of 16 adult garments. There are 2 child garments, and then there is 1 top that I gifted to my friend, which I have not mentioned today, but I think it was a successful year garment wise, of course. But I think 2022 was definitely the year of cast-ons, because as I said at the beginning of the episode that I have 14 sweaters that I started last year which have not been finished, which is a ridiculous amount of garments. If I had even made like 7, I may have finished those 7 but I cast on promptly 14 sweaters and I never finished them. So I think that's one of the goals for this year, is to clear out my needles a little bit. It's my stash is overwhelming me, but I don't need to buy any yarn and I don't need to cast on anything else. I need to finish some of these sweaters. Few of them are gift knits, so once they're done they'll be out of the house and things like that. So I think I need to kind of hunker down and work on my existing unfinished objects. And I am planning to maybe do like a recap of all of those sweaters, because not just for everyone, but it might be nice for myself to put them all in one video, and then every time I feel like casting on a new thing, I should just play the video for myself. That might be a good way of handling it. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed all these sweaters. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you have any questions about any of the specific garments, you want to know something that I've not mentioned, Hopefully I've put the finished garment size and other details about the sweater on the screen when I was trying out each and every one of them. But if I've missed something, just let me know and I can get back to you on that. I am not sure how long this video was so I need to go and edit it now, and so I can upload the video and everything. So thank you so much for watching. Happy New Year. Hope this year is much better than 2022. Wishing you all the health, happiness and prosperity. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, take care, and happy crafting. Bye.